I never thought I'd live to see the day when my own daughter-in-law would raise her voice at me, not out of fear or desperation, but out of contempt. The words are burned into my memory. "Stay away from the baby, you're just a janitor." It wasn't just an insult. It was a knife, twisted deep in the part of me that had given my entire life to this family. I had been living under the same roof as my son and his wife for 8 years. 8 years of helping, cleaning, cooking, and making sure their world ran smoothly. It wasn't a job to me, it was love. I scrubbed floors, washed dishes, folded tiny baby clothes, and made sure the home sparkled not because anyone asked me to, but because I wanted my son's family to thrive. I thought they saw me as the backbone of the household. I thought they loved me for it. But in one breath, she reduced me to just a janitor. It all began when my son married Clara. She was beautiful, ambitious, and came from a family far wealthier than mine. I was skeptical at first, but my son loved her deeply. I opened my heart to her and tried my best to be a second mother. When they moved into my house, I welcomed them, not as tenants but as family. "This is your home," I told them. The first year was peaceful. Clara worked long hours, and I often prepared meals, tended the garden, and kept the house tidy so she wouldn't feel overwhelmed. When their first child was born, I poured every ounce of my soul into helping them. I'd rock the baby to sleep, stay up at night so Clara could rest, and keep the nursery spotless. I thought we had built trust. But over the years, things shifted. Clara began treating my help less like love and more like obligation. She'd snap if I folded the laundry the wrong way or if I seasoned food differently than she liked. She began calling me the housekeeper, in a half-joking tone when her friends came over. My son would laugh nervously, not realizing how much it stung. Still, I endured it. For my son, for the children, for the family I thought we were. The breaking point came on a quiet afternoon. Clara was holding their newborn baby, her second child. I reached out with a smile, wanting to hold the little one while she prepared lunch. She clutched the baby to her chest and snapped, "Stay away from the baby, you're just a janitor." My heart stopped. I stood frozen, the words echoing in the room. My hands, the same hands that had held her first child through fevers and teething, suddenly felt empty and unworthy. I looked at her, expecting maybe regret, but there was only disdain. Something inside me shifted that day. For 8 years, I had lived as though I were a servant in my own home. I had endured humiliation for the sake of peace. But Clara's words made me see the truth. She never saw me as family. She saw me as help. And my son, my own son, had let it happen. That night, I made a decision. I had worked hard my whole life and owned the house we lived in. It was mine before they ever moved in. I had paid every bill, covered every expense, and let them live rent-free because I believed in family. But now, I realized something important. Family doesn't belittle you. Family doesn't strip you of your dignity. The next morning, I told Clara and my son to sit down. My voice was calm, steady, but firm. "For 8 years, I've cooked your meals, cleaned your home, and raised your children alongside you. I've done it not as a worker, but as a mother and grandmother. But yesterday, Clara, you made it clear how you see me. Just a janitor. If that's the case, then let me be clear, I resign. You are no longer welcome to live here. You'll have 30 days to move out." Clara's eyes widened in shock. My son stammered, "Mom, wait, let's talk about this." But I shook my head. "No, I gave you my heart, my home, and my years. And in return, I was treated like staff. I will not be disrespected in my own house." Clara scoffed, thinking I was bluffing. But when the eviction notice arrived, legal and undeniable, she realized I meant every word. The next month was filled with tension and tears, mostly from my son. He begged me to reconsider, to forgive. I told him forgiveness could come, but not at the cost of my dignity. The day they left, I watched them pack their things into a moving truck. My son hugged me tightly, whispering, "I'm sorry, Mom." I didn't see it until it was too late. I kissed his cheek and told him, "You have to learn what kind of partner you've chosen. I hope she learns respect. For your sake. For the children's sake." When the house finally fell silent, I sat in the nursery, rocking gently in the chair I used to soothe my grandbabies. Tears ran down my face, not of regret, but of release. For the first time in years, I felt free. Months later, my son visited alone, holding the baby. Clara had gone to stay with her parents, and their marriage was strained. He looked at me with tired eyes and asked if he could stay for a while. I opened the door without hesitation. This time, though, the boundaries were clear. "You're welcome here," I told him, "but respect is the rent everyone pays in this house." He nodded, understanding at last. The truth is, family isn't defined by blood or marriage alone. It's defined by love, respect, and how we treat each other when no one is watching. I may have been called just a janitor, but I know better. I was the foundation of that home, the quiet strength that held it together. And when my dignity was threatened, I stood up for myself. Sometimes, the most powerful lesson you can teach your family is that love without respect is no love at all. And so, I closed one chapter of my life, not as a servant in my own house, but as a woman who reclaimed her worth.